Are you used to seeing art journals created in a perfect manner with immaculate hands that are beautifully nail polished? Perhaps young hands that are not arthritic and clumsy? Beautiful journals that are always perfect? And maybe the cost of the journal they're working in was $40 to $100. I know my favourite art journal retails at its best price at $100, and I'm sorry, I'm not paying $100 for an art journal. I've joined a few very good art journaling fountain penning groups, and I like fountain pen quality paper, so I'm just got what they say, a champagne taste on a beer budget. I'm a pensioner. There's no way I can afford to spend $100 on my favourite journal, but I can wait until a very good art journal reseller will put up their seconds and their specials, and I have bought the yearly journals for $5 each by buying last year's art journal and going over them and changing the dates, which is very easy to do, especially if you're saving yourself quite a lot of money. And the blank journals, they can have marks on the cover as this one has, and it's cleared out for $5 or $10. A beautiful journal. And I'm just going to personalise the cover, and you don't even have to be an artist to do this. I have cut out the front page of a garden catalogue, and I'm making my spring 2023 journal. I'm in Australia, so we're in spring. Now, this is a journal that I bought for, I don't remember, it was $5 or $10, but I didn't pay any more than $10 for the journals that I bought. And most of them were around the $5 mark. A little collection of washi tapes and oddments that I've got here. A roll of washi tape on sale. They're just a couple of dollars. Sometimes they can be more. I'm going through, and where I've just used scribble notes through this journal, basically haven't taken any care with it. I'm pulling out those basically damaged or not wanted pages, and I'm going to reclaim this and pretty it up. You could do this with just one roll of washi tape for just a couple of dollars. If you've got a few different tapes, you can vary it. Now, I was once a fine artist by trade. That's a while back. I've retired from my fine art profession, and I'm doing these journals for my own pleasure, basically. It's a lovely positive attitude thing to do. I love to write quotes, motivations. Even though this is a hobby for me and I'm not in business anymore, I'm still very big on setting goals and action plans and to-do lists to get to those goals. And of course, all of that requires journals. But as I'm saying, your journals do not have to be expensive. Now, the beauty of tearing some of these pages out is that it's going to reduce the bulk of the book, and that will allow me to paste things into this book, so that if I've got old photographs that I want to keep and maybe write a little story to go with them, I love writing stories, you can do that. The journal, I think, should be something that's very, very personal to you. I've always encouraged people to put their own creativity into a journal as much as they can. It's great to use things like the washi tape. In this case, it's helping to connect these pages where I've torn some out and maybe weakened the connection. The washi tape will help rejoin the loose pages. I could use something a lot stronger than that if I chose, but the journals won't get a lot of handling. It's, as I said, done for my own personal pleasure, so the washi tape will be quite strong enough for the amount of use that I will give it. If it was to be a coffee table book where you were going to have it out for people to look at, I'd be inclined to use torn fabric and glue the fabric in place, and that would be a lot stronger. Something that bookbinders might use to reinforce these drawings. but for just hobby use, that I'm going to use it for, this is perfect. Now here's the old clumsy arthritic fingers at work. As I said, I'm being realistic. I'm 77, quite proud of my age. Never thought I'd get this far. And this is real life. This is the real thing. I'm basically creating an aging in place journal. Not all videos by older people on YouTube are about how to look younger. I'm happy to answer your questions about aging in place, that's in my own home independently, and anything to do with my age group that you're interested in knowing, other than try to look younger. As I said, I'm quite happy to look my age. Nothing wrong with it. I'm quite proud to be my age. And seriously, if you've got any advice for me about how I could manage things like washi tape with stumpy arthritic fingers, I'd be very interested in any tips that you can give me. So it could be a two-way street. Well, I do admire the art videos where the artist has beautiful fingernails and slender fingers and works with gorgeous, tiny, elaborate decorative scissors. I'm using household scissors. They're just plain easier to grasp if your hands have arthritic issues. Much better to get scissors that are comfortable than decorative. It might even be worthwhile checking out the disability store for tools rather than the art supply and craft supply area. If you get pain in your thumb joint, which I do, or your wrist, you can always check out chemist supplies or again disability stores for supports that will help you with that type of activity. I find one of the easiest things to do is to do this sort of work in short breaks. Don't try to sit down and maybe do 2 hours straight doing craft work. Just do 10 minutes at a time if it's painful for your hands, or half an hour, but build up to it gradually and don't do the same repetitious work for any length of time. Change your activity, and that's one of the most useful things to do. When I was a painter, from about 40 years on, my shoulder had pretty well given up from painting. I mean, I was a full-time artist from youth, so by the time I was 40, that shoulder was having a lot of pain problems as I lifted my hand to paint the top part of a canvas. So I used to turn the canvas upside down when I was painting the sky. And yes, well, I had an art teacher brought his students to watch me paint once, and this is how myths are begun. He's in the background talking to his students, and he said that I painted this painting upside down because that's the way I saw the world. I turned around and said, I painted upside down because I've got arthritis in my shoulder. And it was just easier to bring it leveled up with a comfortable height. So there's nothing wrong with turning the page upside down if it's easier to work lower on the page. I always have to allow a lot longer to do things than it used to take me, but you don't have to sit and watch me work slowly. Let's speed this up a little. I'll bring this journal back ready for a fresh start. And remember, you can create a lovely journal with imperfect hands, imperfect paper, and a low budget. Most manufacturers will have their seconds. Contact them and ask them where and how you can get their seconds if you can't afford the full price. Now I have something that's a total contrast to show you in the next video. I have got arriving probably the best art journal cover made in the world, and 5 extremely high quality notebooks to go with them. And I got them for about $200 off retail price. That's Australian money. So tune in next week and I'll show you. Now, I'm a great believer in using it or losing it as you get older. So instead of writing novels, I'm writing short stories. Instead of painting fine art, I'm doing art journaling. Both are extremely satisfying. It keeps me incredibly busy. If you'd like me to do more of these creative aging at home videos, then please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Happy creativity!